Kia ora and welcome to this week's devotion, coming to you again from my garage. This is a shortened sermon, mainly because it's really cold in here. But I've entitled this mini message, Keep Looking Up. And I want to talk briefly about the importance of our focus, what we are looking at, what we are listening to, what we're putting our trust in, especially in these uncertain times with a lot of other voices that are vying for our attention. The Bible says this in Colossians chapter 3 verse 2, that we are to set our affection, in other words, set our mind and our hearts on things above, not on earthly things. I've shared the story before about how I once ran into the side of the arts building at NMIT here in Nelson. Like I literally ran into the wall of this building. I was looking down at my phone and I ran up the entranceway stairs without looking where I was going. And what I didn't realize was that the doorway was a whole lot narrower than the stairs that led up to it. And I ran headfirst into the wall right next to the doorways. It was super embarrassing. It actually really hurt. I pretended everything was fine. I don't know if anyone actually saw me. It would have been pretty funny. But as believers, we have to keep our heads up. We've got to keep looking up, keeping our eyes focused on things above. Otherwise, we'll run into things that will stop us in our tracks and ultimately keep us from moving forward with a life of faith and hope, a life of purpose. The Bible, for really good reason, reminds us to keep looking up. Places like Psalm 121 verse 1, it says, I will lift up my eyes to the hills. From whence comes my help? My help comes from the Lord who made the heavens and the earth. Psalm 123 says, Unto you I lift up my eyes, O you who dwell in the heavens. Isaiah 40 verse 26 says, Lift up your eyes on high and see who has created these things. It's a really important posture for us to have because it has everything to do with the position of our hearts and what ultimately is capturing our attention. Set your affection on things above, not on earthly things. Perhaps more than ever before, we need to be preoccupied and focused on the perspective of God and what He right now is currently doing, on what He right now is currently saying, and what right now is available to every one of us. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 2 tells us to fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and the perfecter of our faith. And I just think if we can fix our eyes on Him, it's a sure way to avoid running into walls. The New King James Version of this passage, Hebrews 12:2, says, looking unto Jesus. And that word looking implies it's not just a quick glimpse and then we move on to other things, but it is a continual, focused stare as our gaze remains on Him, so that it's from Him where we get our peace. It's from Him where we're finding our hope. It's from Him we're getting our strength and our security and so on, from Christ alone. My challenge this week to you is this. Try and identify what things are causing you to look down and what things help you to look up, and of course do more of the latter. Let us know perhaps in the comments what's helping you to keep your eyes, keeping the gaze of your heart focused on Him and keeping your attention there. And just before we close, if you've been watching this brief message and not part of a church family, or maybe you've never received Christ and His love and His grace and His empowerment and peace for you, we'd especially love to hear from you. Maybe you've got some questions you'd like to ask. You can send us a message via this Facebook page, or you can email us church@aspirechurch.org.nz. We'd love to hear from you. Remember, keep looking up. Have a great week. God bless.